Hello everyone, welcome to this video. Today I will be reviewing a game that was played at a club meeting a few weeks ago. I can't remember exactly when, but a few weeks ago. But before I get into that, I'd like to promote this event that I will be attending. This is the 2020 Midwest Open. It'll be January 18th and 19th of 2020, so it'll be in a little over a month. I will be participating in it, and I'll be going for the Ohio State Championship. So yeah, it'll be pretty exciting. I'll also be doing simuls and other teachings, things like game reviews and such. So if you want to come and play, please consider it. I'll leave a link in the description to this website where you can register and find out more information. The tournament director, Devin Fraze, he's putting a lot of work into making this the best tournament Ohio has ever seen. And yeah, so he wants it to be as good as like major events like the Congress and the Coats and things like that. So it should hopefully, and will probably be a very good event. So if you can make it, please try to make it, because the more the merrier. But yeah, I'll have a link to this in the description if you want to check it out, register, or whatnot. But I will be attending for sure. So if you want to come, say hi, or meet me, use that as an incentive, I guess. But with that being said, let's get into the game. This is between a 1-dan and a 2-dan that they played. So yeah, let's get into it. Black opens up with a large knight's enclosure, and then white immediately attaches. So I've been working on a lecture video going over all these different AI probes in corner shamaris. Still working on it. It is in the works though, so expect that video hopefully sometime soon, like before the end of the year. Black Hanes and then connects. So I don't think the connect is very good. Honestly, I'm not super caught up on this, on all these Josekis. I don't think it's good because usually you want to Atari first and then you connect, and you might think, well, what's the difference? Let's say white were to ignore this corner shape is very flexible, or not flexible, it's very strong and has very good shape. So white will most likely respond if you Atari now. But notice, if you Atari again and you capture later, notice this stone at the 3-3 spot is very redundant. Like, you should not have played it at all. It would be as if we take the same exact last scenario and then black would go here. You can see how not useful this move is, I guess. Now I understand black's thinking. He's thinking, well, I don't know if I want to cut now or later. So he's leaving the option to cut from this side later. But even still, you can see that eventually black will have to capture, and that stone at the 3-3 spot is not good. So black should either just cut directly or Atari. And again, in that lecture video I plan on doing, I will be going over all the most common things and why not you should play them. But this move's definitely too passive. White extends or approaches, black backs off, and then white attaches. There's this common Joseki, Atari, and then black comes down. Now this is when both players make a few Joseki mistakes. So white cuts, which is good. In the game, black extends. Now the extend is not so good, because one, it's actually will be the same exact thing as if white cut, white Ataris, and then something like this. This is Joseki. You can see that White's solid in the corner. White only has these 3 stones to worry about, and black has 2 weak groups, but black is attacking. So it's considered even for both. You can see that in the game, it could have, or white goes here first. It could have became the same exact variation. So in the game, black should, but white actually does not need to cut now. White can actually descend. And you can see if black tries to cut white off, white can cut here, and there's no way for black to capture this cutting stone. So black would need to connect, and then white can connect all his stones. And even though black can come back and save this stone here, white is now connected to the right side and has the corner. You can see how over-concentrated black shape is. So I guess both players missed this move. So the proper Joseki move is to connect solidly. White will probably extend once, and then it would be just a different game. This cut is protected. White cannot push through and cut because black can then extend in the corner, and you can see these 3 white stones are very weak. So it is important to note that if white fixes somehow, like by going here, black should fix his shape by doing this. So yeah. So you can see how this move's a mistake. Now, white's next move is also a mistake. White goes here. This is not a good move because later this move will be sente, because it will threaten the corner. And as opposed to going down like this move is not sente. So it's actually a very big difference, and that actually comes into play in the game. But you can see how black gets his turn, this is probably really good for black so far. White hanes once and black cuts. White extends and black does something very passive. Black protects. Yeah, I'll show what happens in the game first, and then I'll talk about things that I would expect would be different. White makes good shape. Black then clamps. White extends down. Threatens to cut here. Hane. Cut. And then black pulls back. So again, this looks very bad for white, but I think black could have gotten a better result. There's no reason why black can't extend up here. Even if you push a couple times, even push once more, you can always come back and attack this white group. You can even then come to the top. So yeah, this should be the first instinct, I would think, but I think black can actually just go here directly. And because this move is threatening to connect, there's nothing white can really do. Yeah, like if white pushes and cuts, because black has this stone, black can hane and connect. Now there's actually, white can make this exchange first, but you'll see this is actually not too bad for black. Even though it'll be ko in the corner. Yeah, this is a good scenario to know in the corner, by the way. Is this shape is ko for white, as white can cut, and then Atari here. If black takes, white will Atari here, and you can see that it's a ko. If black goes here, though, white can also make a ko by going here. So it's ko in the corner, but white has to make the first ko threat. So let's say white does, and let's say black just answers. Black can actually cut here as his next ko threat, and this is very difficult for white to answer. If white takes the ko, black can then hane. And if white wins the ko, you can see black takes the outside, so that'd be pretty good from black. But if white comes this way, black would then be able to come back here. And you can see white's running out of liberties and ko threats. So yeah, this would be pretty bad for white. So I think black should just play here. There's not really anything white can do. Even if white now plays here. You can just keep building the right side. There's nothing. White's over concentrated. Isn't making a lot of points on the right side. Black's taking a very large profit on the right side. So yeah, so this move's very slack. It's very safe, but black should think to be aggressive. But once white makes good shape, then black tries to be aggressive. And this spot isn't so good because even though white's shape isn't super great, these stones here do not have a lot of liberties. So you can see this move goes for the shape point. And if white descends, you can see black has much more flexibility because black stones have more liberties. Yeah. So definitely this move's better, I think. Also, I think white can clamp as well. Potentially. I'm not sure if this is good, but it might be. Black Atari's white can Atari. And then do something like this maybe. This is potential as well. So just by backing off, you're giving your stones more liberties, which is better. So I think this is the right idea, but just too close. Clamp, and white shape is terrible, so I'm not saying this result is like super good for white, but I think black could have gotten an even better result. So in the game, black extends, but you can see white can take this shape point. Now, if black might think black can extend here and give up these two stones and then like just take the right side, let white deal with those two stones, but white can actually extend here because this cut is already, white's connection is already secured. There's no way for black to cut white off. Black extends down, white just cuts. So yeah, this wouldn't be so good for black. So because there's this weakness, I really want to as black to Atari once. If white extends, then I wouldn't connect here, I would connect here. And you can see black shape is much better. White doesn't have any weakness to look at on the right side now. Yeah, so you can see black shape is much better in this case. And black really shouldn't be afraid of white cutting here because the outside I think is worth much more. Whether white will probably Atari here, but you can see I don't think white can win this ko, because even though white has a local threat here, I think black can just give up the corner, and then build the entire bottom and right side, because the right side is worth so many points. Black has a double Ponuki in the center, so it might depend on style, but I would definitely like black in this game. So yeah, I think black really needs to Atari here. This move's just a little slack. In the game, black attaches. White pushes through. This is actually a very good move, and then Atari's. The point of this push through is that if black tries to save this stone, white can Atari here, and you can see if black connects, white's able to capture. So black would need to do something else, but then white can capture in the corner. So yeah, this is a very good reading from both players, because black just gives it up. Where does black go? Oh, black extends here. So black is, you can see black's building this giant moyo on the right side. And black just plays on the inside on the third line. This is not the right mentality to have. Black really should like Atari, and if white takes, keep building. Keep building. The thing that black's worried about is white living on the right side. So like, let's say black Tenukis completely. White can Atari, and then maybe clamp. And then if black descends, white can Hane, cut, connect solidly. Maybe white will do this one, actually. Atari. But you can see white's now has two weak groups to worry about. And black also got to move on the bottom side. Whereas maybe white goes here. But even if black, let's see, does black just descend back? Yeah, even if black just descends back, white needs to protect, and then black can just clamp. So there's not a whole lot of gain for white on the right side. So this move's definitely too passive. Way too passive. Keep building. Why not? White doesn't have time to play on the right side if you keep attacking white. I know black was probably felt this might be ohiogoschool because it forces white to connect, but there's really no... Because of this immediate danger of this Atari, the only moves black can really play are like moves like this or like this to threaten this ladder, which aren't that helpful. So definitely just go here and play something like this. Much better. Fighting spirit, as they say. As black goes here, but if anything, black should play from this side because these are the weaker stones. So black adds even more strong stones to strong stones. So very over concentrated. Atari, take, and then cut. Hane, and then black Atari's here. The issue with this move is that later on white can Atari and connect back. Whereas playing this move immediately gets black points. And yeah, I think that move's better. This move again is safer, but you can see how this move here that black played really hasn't helped black on the upper side. So black should really just come on this side. Play a move on this from this side, the weaker stones. So you can see how... Don't want to say it's useless because it does have a purpose. It prevents that Atari, etc., etc. But you can see how not efficient this move is. Go and getting better at Go is all about efficiency. So the more efficient your stones are, the better off you'll be. Hane, Atari. Yeah, and I also don't know why black doesn't even just keep Haneing either. Because after this, I think white should just jump. White took the last empty corner, but the jump is pretty big in and of itself. But I can't say this move's bad either. Black peeps and then Hanes. So I think this is... You can see... what do I want to say? I think this move is ohiogoschool. Because without this exchange, if white doubles Hanes, you can see black can cut here. And I think the cut is much more useful than this peep. So, oops. So, yeah. But it's hard to say because the cut still exists. But I think white could have maybe protected it. Because in the game, white makes a tiger's mouth, which is very safe. But, yeah, I think playing here is better. Something on the top here or here. Somewhere. If black cuts, white can just kind of back off. Now black's on the inside of white's area. So, yeah. White plays here, though. And then black approaches. White attaches, which is nowadays it's considered not so bad. Hane, extend. Black pushes up and then comes back. So you can either do one or the other, but don't do both. The reason is if we change the order of moves, let's say black protects and white fixes, would black still go here? And the answer is no, because black can play this one. Right, this is much faster. So if black wanted to play anything, black should just keep Haneing, and you can see white really cannot double Hane because black can push and cut and then extend down. And if white cuts, black's able to maybe Atari first, not sure though. But black's able to Atari and then Hane. White needs to add a move on this side, but then black can just extend. And the corner's pretty big. If white tries to extend down to kind of make black to force this cut, black will just connect. White needs to live in the corner. Extend down to 2 spot, and then black can play here. If white just takes directly, you can see white's shape here is pretty bad. So white might try to refute it, but black can extend down again. And if white takes, it's very similar. White's shape is pretty bad. And black just is alive on both sides. White might think white can extend though, but black will actually just give up these 3 stones. And you can see black will be able to get a very big squeeze this way. And then it will be able to extend. So again, this would be very good for black. Because the corner is not so big because white already spent a move at the 2-2 spot. But bottom line, white probably can't double Hane. It's probably too risky. White would probably need to defend somehow. But you can see how much of a difference this makes. Or maybe not that, but just extend back. See how much of a difference this makes in the bottom. And black can just extend. Yeah, so if you want to protect, just protect, and then do something like this. Oops, this one. But don't. And if you want to extend up, you have to at least fix a little faster. It's a little faster. But definitely just Hane. Definitely just Hane. Black fixes. White fixes. Push, push, and then white extends back. So this is when black should really exchange this move. This move is a very big move, and it's sente for both basically, especially once black has made prospects on the bottom. This move is huge. And you can see both players will not play it for so long, but you'll see how much it actually affects the game. So black attaches. Usually you attach on the 4th line because you're kind of saying you attached on the 4th line to a 4/4 stone because you're kind of saying if you want the bottom, if you want the territory, I can at least take influence. But if you want influence, I can take territory. But in this case, black probably didn't want this because black would just be running into white's wall here. So black says, okay, I'm going to try to live on this side. White Hanes, of course, and then black cuts. So this move is okay, but when you make Sabaki, you want to have your stones that are cohesive and are working together. But when you cut, you can see there's no relationship between these stones other than that they're cutting stones. So when white just extends, you can see it's kind of, there's no relationship between these stones. So you should really instead consider double Hane because you can see these stones are working in unison. You can see that they're helping to make a base. They're still applying pressure to white. And yeah, like if white just extends back, then you can see, or connects, you can see black can maybe attach and then Hane. And you can see how, not saying black's alive yet, but you can see how when your stones work together, how light and flexible you can be. So yeah, this is okay. You need a real good reason to play an attachment or to play the cut. Because when white extends back, you can see there's no relationship here. Unless you can capture this cutting stone, these two stones will never connect and they'll never help each other. So in the game, black extends. And you can see once white extends, like white just takes 4th line territory and black has 2 heavy stones in the center. So, again, I think black should just Atari and attach. Yeah, this has to be better. White plays, this move is a little slack though, I will say, because black can't live locally, right? If black tries to live, there's no way black can live on this side. So there's no reason to play, like, to back off. This move just puts more pressure on these 2 stones. Yeah, and gets white more points, actually. So, little slack, but white probably felt it was good enough already. And then black attaches. So I wish black attached first, because once black extended, he already showed his poker hand. He already showed what he wants to use with that Aji. Whereas later, maybe black wants to play here and do this. Or maybe later black wants to Atari from this direction. So, yeah, make sure you want to use the Aji that you want to use. But you can see by just extending, black hasn't gotten anything from it. So yeah, if black want to do attach, just attach now. Leave this Aji. Hane, cut. In this case, black really can't double Hane, so the cut's fine here. White Ataris. White just through, and this is decent, but again, white is so strong that, of course, white just blocks. Black needs to connect, and then white extends back. And you can see black is just in a world of pain right now. So you can see how black was trying to stay light, but he actually ended up making a very heavy shape, gave white a solid corner, and lost these 2 stones here. So yeah, let's see what white can, or black can do. Black jumps, and white goes here, but because this is protected in a ladder, like if white goes elsewhere, black cannot Hane here because this is just a ladder. It'll go to these stones here. White should just go after the whole group while taking the top side. There's no reason not to. So, but this move's fine too. It just, black could consider just giving up those stones there and then building something on the top. Yeah. In the game though, black Hane's here. And this is when the white's play starts to confuse me, because instead of just pushing through, white Hane's here, which is fine because black's not alive yet locally, but black extends, and then white Ataris again, like, and lets black get this humongous Hane, which basically gives black life on the side. So I don't know if white got too caught up on the top side or what, but there is, white lost a lot of potential on the bottom, or on the bottom left. So like, I don't know why white doesn't, like, I don't know why white doesn't in this case go here or push down once. Sure, black might be able to squeeze here, but what has black gained? Black has added more stones to the fire. So yeah, very strange play by white. And especially this one. This one makes very little sense. So black gets this humongous Hane, and then white just ignores it. And then black extends, so white just gives up those 2 stones. I don't get it. Don't understand. They're pretty big. White comes in. Yeah, black needs to answer. But again, this move here in the bottom right is still open. Hane extend down. White cuts. Black extends. And then white pushes down again. This doesn't make any sense to me. Why doesn't white just come down? Blacks cannot block because then white can cut and then capture, and black's dead locally on this side. But by cutting first, white needs to extend, because now at least black doesn't get a Ponuki on this side and like access into white's corner. You can see that black can get a pretty good result here actually. So there's no reason to cut and then just give it up. If you can just, if just pushing works. You can see if black just connects, well then you haven't given black capture. It's a big difference in the corner. White cuts, black peeps, white fixes, Atari, and this is black's chance to like take control of this game, because white's lower left is super weak potentially. So right now all black needs to do is play this move, and not only does this move give black's points, it takes away white's base. White is uncomfortable. Yeah, there's only a lot of benefits for this move. Even if this sort of thing happens, white will live small. Black has gotten points on the left side, and then black can play the move that he played in the game. But when black plays here directly, one, this move doesn't get black's any points. It is only concerned about what white is building. But even worse, white just goes here and takes this entire corner. So yeah, compare this corner to this corner. It's a big difference. Very big difference. So yeah, black missed a very big opportunity. Yeah, and it was probably because he was just thinking too linearly, thinking, oh, I need to reduce white's potential area. But white just makes a ton of points on the side. Black jumps in. White threatens to cut. Black extends, and then white extends back. Probably a little passive. I don't know why white doesn't do this. Oh, wait, now I know why, because black can go here. So it makes sense to me. So, but black can still go there, right? Actually, is that move good? Huh. Because white can go here. Actually, this would just be very complicated, I think. Yeah, this would be complicated. I think this would actually be good for black. Because this moves Sente. Yeah, this would be good for black. Okay. So, that's why, I guess. But black can still just connect. So at this point, I think black missed a very big chance. Because in the game, black just goes here. But I think black can play a little more... Because black has this backdoor connection at this diagonal, black can jump in. And you can see this move is not only threatening to connect on the second line, but it's also taking away a lot of white's points. And it's not super clear how white should answer. Yeah, white bumps, black can still come down, and this is still threatening connection here with a monkey jump. Yeah, if white goes here, then black just comes back, and you can see white has been reduced by a lot. So, yeah, I think this move, if white just backs off, it's hard to see what black has gained point-wise. Black can cut, actually, and this would be what it would look like, but white gains a lot in the center, actually. White might think about doing this, but it actually doesn't work in this case. And do this sort of squeeze. Because black can... Does netting directly just work? No, it doesn't. If black nets directly, white can push and then Atari and then cut. But black can play this move first, which is threatening to connect on this side. Like if white fixes the cutting stones, black can push here. See, white cannot cut through black. So if white defends that, actually white needs to do this one. Then black can net. Yeah, so big difference. So white cannot do this sort of squeeze. You want to look for this squeeze where you give up this stone, but you can connect on the first line. But in this case, it just does not work. White comes back. But what happens in the game? Oh yeah, white plays this one, which is kind of asking black to cut. Plus, black has a very nice move here. If black can actually just attach. Kind of, there's no reason to make this exchange if you don't have to. Just disconnect or just attach. If white connects, black will just connect. Easy peasy. If white hanes, does black double hane? Or does black just... I think black just pushes through. Yeah, black just pushes through. White hanes once, black can still just extend, and you can see white still can't cut through black. So, yeah. This move would have been really good for black, as it turns out. Black pushes, though, and then cuts on this side. Oh, no, he does cut on this side. And then gives up the stone. So you can see, sure, black got into white's center, but black actually himself doesn't make a lot of points, whereas white takes points on the upper side. So it's a big move. Or it's hard to say who it benefits, but I think it benefits whites. Because white's center here isn't actually worth that much, because there's so many holes still. Yeah, I think so at least. Like if black just extends, it's no biggie. Look how much points black is getting here. White still needs to protect, and then black can still come in a little bit. So yeah, don't get so, when you're playing and your opponent has like potential points, remember that you cannot just keep taking away your opponent's points if you yourself are not getting points. So the name of the game is usually just take points. Yeah, you can see in the game, black gets 1 point here, but white gets the entire top now. So black doesn't go there. Where does black go? Oh, he does go there. Then pokes through. White backs off. Push, cut. Now white actually loses a point here by going here, when white can actually protect by going here. Since white has to play this move anyways, because black can squeeze from this side, this move actually loses black a point. But white goes here, so no harm, no foul. Black Ataris. Also, it's important to note all these moves are co-threats, so there's no real reason to play these now. Yeah, like white should just go there directly. Black Ataris. And then Hanes, this move is huge. White turns, and it's, again, this move is still on the board. Like, black should do this right now, because the game is actually pretty close. It's a pretty close game. And again, black does something very strange. He just backs down, but I don't understand why black does an Atari once and then connects like this. I don't understand. Like, after this, you can see white is already starting to get 1 point, and white has a Sente follow-up on the first line now. Whereas if you do it this way, there's no Sente follow-up, and white doesn't have the point there. Maybe black was worried about liberties here, but black's 1-down. Black should be able to read the liberties here. Yeah, this move is just too soft. So soft. But of course, white gets this move. And again, you can see how big of a difference that makes compared to white's corner. So this is the result if white gets to play there first. This is the result if black gets to play there first. And remember, both moves are Sente. Or black or white playing them are Sente. So, yeah. Hane. Black's time for Sente. Black pushes, then comes down. And then turns. It's a big move. But then white comes down. And then black plays this move, which you need a very specific reason to play this move. But you can see, let's see. Let's just say white Ataris. And if we just count this square here, black has 8 points. But if black had just gone here, you can see black actually has 8 points plus the 1 point here. So black actually just lost a point by trying to be fancy. So unless there's a specific reason to play here, don't play here. Just block. Because you actually lose a point here. White Hanes. And black, again, loses more points. There's no issue with black just Atarying. And again, black's 1-down. I would expect black to be able to read this. White cuts, you can just take, and there's nothing white can do. Black can do. White can do. There's nothing white can do. There we go. Yeah. But again, black goes here. Atari. I'll just finish this for white so you can see the difference. Black loses these 2 points here in Sente, whereas if black just Hanes and then Ataris, you can see black gets these 2 points here. So big difference. But again, black could have Atari'd here to begin with. So black, yeah. So black's endgame is not super good in this game. This move's huge as well. Black could have gotten that move as well. Maybe. Push. Now white does that. So now we're just getting into endgame. Is there? Hane needs to protect. Black pushes. White connects. Black pushes through. White goes here. Black goes here. White just connects. Again, it's black will never be able to cut here. And because black can play this move and force white to go here eventually, it's as if white played both moves. Right? If black goes here, white would then go here. But you can see even if black gets, let's see, white goes wherever. Even if black gets this move, black can never win the semi-eye. There's an eye versus no eye. So, again, not super great reading. Yeah. And again, this was a club game, so of course they're not playing as seriously as if it was tournament, but still. Still, if you want to get better, you gotta focus on everything. You gotta focus on opening, middle game, and end game. And you can see here that both players' end games are not super great. Super great. White connects. Black Ataris. No, black Ataris this way. White connects. Black pushes. It goes there. This is a big move, actually. White actually ignores, though, because that move is also very big. But now there's this ko. So now they play ko threats. Black extends down. I actually don't know if this move loses points or not. I don't think so. But yeah, I could be wrong about that. Cut. Place here. And just playing ko threats. Black then gives it up. And again, white takes, which I don't understand again. Even if white just connects, black Ataris and white connects, black has enough, or white has enough liberties to win the semi-eye. So, again, I don't know if it was just a misread or poor reading or what, but if white wants to do anything, white should just protect there. But white plays inside his own territory, taking away his own point, but leaving this Atari on the first line on the left. White probably knows he can win the ko, though, because he has so many more ko threats, but still. And then black Ataris. Yep. So now it's just endgame. Atari, play there. Hane. And what this game actually comes down to is, let's get to the end of the game. They're almost there. Right here. The score of the game, white wins by 1.5 points. So a super close game. But you can see black was winning going into endgame. And it's pretty clear going through this review, hopefully, that black was winning. But black missed the endgame in the bottom right. Black played poorly on the upper right. And yeah, black lost a lot of points. Yeah, black missed a lot of opportunities because black could have attacked the bottom left as well. And yeah, white definitely played on the left side, was playing so well, and then just fell apart and let black get so much. So yeah, definitely you can learn a lot from this game. You can definitely, learn the importance of endgame and how it can really decide games. But yeah, black definitely had a lead in the opening, but played a little slack. Let white get a giant moyo on the left. Black tried to do stuff. It didn't look like it was going too well, but white played pretty submissively, and then black ended up having a lead. Black could have attacked the bottom left, and yeah, they ended up playing a very close game. But yeah, hopefully this game was, you learned something from this game. And yeah, if you have any questions about the game, please let me know in the comments. And yeah, see you in the next video. And as a reminder, I'll have a link to the tournament information, the 2020 Midwest Open. I'll have information of that tournament in the description. So bye.